Hello everyone, welcome to TV Junkie Reviews. Today I shall be reviewing Fear the Walking Dead Season 1 Episode 3. Now this episode wasn't too bad actually. I was quite disappointed by the first 10 minutes of it, which went back to the previous episode and explained how Travis, son Chris, Liza and the Salazars ended up from being in the barbershop to being in Travis's truck. I actually did not notice the kind of little skip there and how they didn't actually explain it in episode 2. But yeah, it's kind of quite disappointing that they went back a little bit, but it's good to find out how it happened anyway. So, in pretty much summary, the Ophelia's mother, in the escape of the barbershop, because basically people were burning down the building next door. So they kind of had to escape immediately because they could feel the heat coming through, and the wall was seemed to be kind of, well, not collapsing, but it was kind of giving way. So they kind of left in a hurry and they went out into the crowd. And along the way, Mother Salazar ended up getting her foot trapped under some scaffolding, in which Travis went, but Travis, Liza, and Chris sort of they moved on ahead slightly, but they went back to help her and they got her out of the scaffolding. But obviously, her leg is in quite bad condition. It's probably in need of some surgery and definitely needs disinfecting. And you know what that means. Eventually, she'll if she doesn't get it treated, she'll probably die and turn into a walker. So yeah, they went back to help her. And then Daniel Salazar, the father of Ophelia, he he's like, I don't care. I'll go back to you. Go back with you to your house. I can then use your phone and um call my cousins that can help us. So obviously Travis, being the nice guy that he is, allows them to come with him, and they go back to Madison's house. Now, oh, what's going on with Madison, Alicia, and Nick? I liked the kind of parallel that they created here because they're basically waiting for Travis before they try to leave town, and they start playing Monopoly just to kill the time, and it's quite a nice parallel between what's going on there and what's going on with Travis and the outside, how outside it's turning into chaos, and with Madison and her family, they're pretty much just oblivious to what's going on. They're just playing it, like a board game, like normally. Um, so they're kind of playing it in the dark as well because the power's cut, and they hear some noise outside. Because if you remember from the end of last episode, their neighbor, their coughing neighbor, ended up turning into Walker and attacking one of the other neighbors. So he's still outside somewhere, and then they begin to hear noises, they get scared, and they decide to go and get the shotgun from the other neighbor. They have so many neighbors, it's just getting a bit confusing. So they go around the back, and they end up in this sort of hedge maze sort of thing, this garden maze sort of thing that the neighbor has. You see them sort of turning and stuff, and you do kind of think, wow, if they get stuck in there, they're going to get lost, and that sort of comes into play later. And they end up in the neighbor's house, and they sort of take the shotgun, and they notice that as they're doing so, Travis comes home, and by this time the walker has ended up wandering into their house. I don't know why they didn't actually close their back garden um, door thingy when they left to go to their neighbors. It's crazy, but yeah, Travis comes home and Madison, because Madison spots them as they're leaving, and he knows Travis has come home, so she immediately starts running back, and to the in the haste, they forget to take the shotgun ammo, so Alicia goes back to get it, and Madison ends up getting to Travis in time. The family reunites, and um, as um, as they're inside, Travis has to stop the walker. Chris walks in, and Liza comes in as well. And as Travis is trying to keep the walker away, he's getting attacked. And then Madison runs in with a shotgun, but she doesn't know what to do with it. So Daniel grabs it off her and pretty much blows the head out of the walker. So here, pretty much Daniel is made to look pretty cool, and he is pretty cool. But I still kind of don't like him. I don't know. It's kind of the way he is. I mean, he's probably the only one out of everyone that knows what's going on and understand what has to be done now in this new era. But I still kind of don't like him. He's still a bit too. I don't know. There's just something about him where he's quite defensive. I don't know, keeps himself to himself sort of thing, and he has a lot of pride. As Ophelia points out to him, their mother definitely needs help, but he's too stubborn to let people help him. Because in the end, Travis and the others decide to leave. Since Travis has come home, they decide to leave, but they decide to leave in the morning. So Ophelia keeps trying to argue with her father that they need to go with them. They can't make it on their own. But Daniel's too stubborn to accept help, and it seems that he lied about their cousins. He has no cousins, so they're pretty much on their own if Travis and Madison and the family leave. And before they get to all that as well, Alicia gets attacked by a walker. Their neighbor, pretty much, that they somehow missed when they were inside their house. But yeah, she's turned into a walker, and as Alicia's trying to run back with the ammo, she's been chased by the walker, and she ends up in the maze, and she gets lost. And she's about to get over the fence. The walker, grabs onto her leg, and luckily Chris is there, so he gets to help her. But yeah, there's a bit of a scary moment as you fear that Alicia will get bitten or something. But luckily she doesn't. And another thing I'm disappointed is that, as it turns out, Alicia doesn't get to go back to try and find Matt and help him. So that's quite disappointing. The rest of the episode is not bad pace, not bad pace. But I'm quite disappointed by the ending because um, as they're pretty much set to leave, Madison notices that the husband of the neighbor comes home, so she pretty much diverts her route, tries to go back to the house and warn him because she doesn't end up finishing off her neighbor to as she sees it, she's ending her neighbor's suffering, but Travis convinces her not to do it, and so she's afraid for her neighbor's husband because he's gonna go in there unaware that her wife has turned into a walker, and she tries to warn him, and as she's about to get there, the husband goes in to hug her wife. He clearly notices that there's something wrong, but he can't probably accept that there's something really wrong with his wife. So she goes to hug her, and as he does, uh, her, his his wife gets shot by someone off screen, and moments later you realize it's the army. The army comes in, and Travis and Madison and the family are stopped from leaving. So yeah, the army has come in to help, and is saving the rest of the town, spraying the houses that have been infected, and that ends the episode. So it's not too bad an episode. Stuff happens, but lots of disappointing bits I found in it. So so far it's not the best episode, but it's still worth watching as it continues on the series. It's quite annoying that they didn't get to leave. When they finally get to leave, they don't get to leave because the army comes in. So yeah, give it a watch and can't wait for the next episode. So if you're still watching, thank you very much for tuning in, and I shall see you next time. Don't forget to watch my episode 2 review, which should be. You can see the link on screen now in the screenshot. Just click on that for that episode review, and you can also see my latest Supergirl update about Red Tornado. You can see that video, the images on screen, and you can click on that now.